Okay, so we're on to domain 3. And this domain is in this assignment, it's focusing on layers, pages, special characters and page numbering, master pages, and image placement. So you'll notice that in my newsletter folder that we had the students create before, I've downloaded the newsletter assets for domain 3. And it's important to note we want to start with that. This will allow students who didn't do so well in the last week to still be able to recover and start fresh. There's also an item that you'll see in here that we didn't add into the last document in domain 2 that will appear in this one, because we need that as kind of a jumping off point to move forward with it. And then we'll talk about what we're going to do with it here in a little bit. It's some artwork in the background. Okay, so within that assets folder, you see that we have the article newsletter, we have the artwork, same artwork again. We're going to start and have the students open up this one here, which is newsletter spot domain 3-A. And A is an indicator that that's where it's starting. You'll notice that in your instructor files there, you had an end. So is newsletter spot domain 3 end, and I'll pull that one up just so you know where you're going to finish up there. And then we have our screenshots for the students so they know what it's supposed to look like in the end, so we can kind of see where we're going with that. Okay, so when we double click and open this up, you'll see that here is this artwork I was talking about that's new on there. We haven't introduced how to adjust nodes and all that kind of stuff. So it's easier just to have this as a kickoff starting point with this, because it's really just about placing items here in InDesign and making those adjustments there. You'll see in the end, this is our one in the end, we're really focusing on these guys here and placing them, rotating, having the ability to change that. And we're also going to adjust and make a second paragraph style or another paragraph style based off of an initial one. All right, so when we come back here, we're going to come over here to the layers palette, and you'll see all of this is on layers 1. Okay, so we're going to first create a new layer and name it background shapes. And before we do that, we want to go ahead and select this artwork on the background here. Okay, we're going to kind of roll and select all of these on this edge here, and it should pick up on all of that artwork. Okay, and we can add a new layer, and we're going to then move that little dot there of the stuff selected onto that layer 2, and then name layer 2 background. Okay, and click OK. Now you can see that's in front of our text, and now we're just going to shuffle that layer underneath and then go ahead and lock it. We're going to add another layer, and we're going to, first we're going to change this layer 1, which is all of our text, and call that article or articles. And then we're going to add another layer and label that graphics. Okay, so we're doing some stuff where we're moving some layers around, and we'll be able to adjust those. You can turn them on and off, and we want to really try to get them to be organized with all of their stuff and renaming their layers. Okay, so we're going to go over to the pages and to the master pages and go ahead and insert special character. We're going to go ahead and change this over to Helvetica, make it 9 points. Go ahead and make it our gray. That kind of neutral color there. Take the bold off. Just make it regular. And then we're going to go to type, insert special character, markers, and current page number. And we want to go ahead and just center that. And then we can simply copy and paste, Command C, Command V, and drop that there, ensuring that everything is aligned up well. Okay, And then we'll just double check it. One, page 2 reads as page 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and go to page 4. And we're going to take this artwork on page 4 and move it to page 1. It's easy to minimize down to Command minus. So we can just quickly grab this and move that on up there. Remember, if they accidentally hit on that target there, it'll move the artwork and not the bounding box. So just being aware of that. Command 0 then brings us back up to this 100%. Now that we've moved the artwork up there, we're going to make some adjustments and hop back over to our paragraph styles. And we're going to duplicate this headline one. Okay. Duplicate that style and call this medium headline. Oops, if I spell that right. And we're going to change it to 24 points on the character and then 24 points leading. And again, this is all easily done because I've done this so many times, making those decisions, but this is just really introducing them to the fact that they can build these off of another, build these styles off of another one with little quick adjustments there. If hyphenization is not already unchecked, make sure that you do check it. I'm sorry, do uncheck it because we don't want any hyphenization in our headline. Okay, so we have that medium headline set up. We're going to come back over to the little girl here, and we're going to take our artwork and just crop her down with our bounding box. So all that we see is the little girl. And then we're going to move her around a little bit here and reflect her so she's looking over to the right. We come up here to our control bar. You'll see the horizontal reflect. Flip horizontal. And then we're also going to just enlarge her 165%. And we can do that right up top here in our control bar as long as our little link constrained proportions is actually linked together so that when we change this to 165, the one below it will change too. And then she just quickly enlarges there. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is add some little clouds in here. We're going to go ahead and place that artwork again instead of copying and pasting. We'll do plenty of copying and pasting later, but so we can bring that same artwork in again. Just click one. Okay. Look for my little clouds here. There they are right there. Move my bounding box around that to crop that other stuff out. Oops, I just hit that target in the center. Flip out that little extra piece there. And now move this over to here and get that kind of going. We want that just to kind of cover that up on the corner a little bit there, but it's actually going to need to go underneath her. Now I want to make sure that when I'm working on this, that I'm moving or making sure that my artworks or my graphics is actually on my graphics layer. Okay, so I need to select this artwork and move it to the graphics layer. I'm going to select her, make sure she's on the graphics layer. And now you'll see that that actually worked out pretty well. I can slide her over a little bit, move this one up just a little. Just want to pop over here for just a second. Okay, so I'm now starting to get this kind of all set up here. And I'm probably gonna have to make some adjustments to this stuff down in here. But before we do that, I want to actually get in the other artwork that I have there too, which is the butterflies and the bird. We're going to go ahead and it tells us in the directions there just to go ahead and size and rotate them according and make the adjustments needed so that it looks like the screenshots of stuff. Okay. Because I'm now going to make adjustment to this artwork here, I need this headline here to have that paragraph style of medium, of the medium artwork, or I'm sorry, medium headline. And then we can take and go ahead and move this down. Should I get this adjusted here? And you'll see that it does that little crazy thing there where, you know, it moved that, it looked like that whole article went away, but it's because that I had pushed that down past where the line break was. And remember that you just need to get the bounding box for the text there to line up at the bottom of where the line break is. Okay. All right. So if I go back over to my file and I come to my screenshot, my girl, you'll see that these are kind of lined up here. Okay. Then I have the bird and the little flowers, sorry, little butterflies there, all lined up accordingly there. So I'm going to kind of split my screen here so I can have that as the resource kind of off to the side to see how I need to kind of set this up. I can see that I can move my clouds over. That one cloud actually goes over that margin line quite a bit and then actually pops up and kind of tucks into this corner just a little bit. The girl here slides over quite a bit too. And she is in front of those clouds, so we can start to get some of that depth. And now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to place, again, the artwork. And then we'll start working on copying and pasting after that. So this gives me where my butterflies and stuff are, and they're up top here. So again, I'm going to crop that artwork in. You can see my birds all the way down here at the bottom. So instead of placing this a couple times here, I can easily take this guy here and copy, Command C, and paste again. And then I can use this, it's just this one white one here and then two blue. So this one here, I'm going to crop out this way. And then this one, I'm going to crop out that way. Okay. My top one here is rotated a bit and also enlarged. So we're just going to use our little item up top here in the control bar to just click her up till it feels about right. And you'll notice that my 100% here is not changing at all because it's actually changing the measurement inside. That box is still going to be at 100%. I can rotate this over a little bit. Kind of get that lined up pretty good. Go just a little bit larger. It kind of comes down to that blue. It's actually quite big. Okay, then I have this blue one here. I'm then going to rotate back this way. Let it overlap into that blue just a bit. And you can kind of play around with the placement of that. You know, it doesn't have to be exact because we're trying to design. And sometimes designing with where you think it looks right sometimes works a little bit better. This time on this one here, we're going to make this one a little bit smaller. So we get that variety of size and scale. Okay, so now I'm going to take one of these here and copy it and paste it. Move it off to the side over here and enlarge that so I can find that little bird. There he is down here at the bottom. Again, we'll prop him back in. If I want to get him quickly back up to being flat, come back up here to the rotation at the top and put him back to 0. And then we can move him over into this area. And he's just a little outside that believe section there. Okay, so that's about it for this here. So it's more about placement with it and then shuffling our layers. If we come back and look at our layers here, we can see our background layer is locked, so we don't accidentally move all of that around as we're shuffling stuff around. You can see that if I hide my graphics, I still have this one here that's not on my graphics layer. So I'm going to go ahead and move that one to my graphics layer. Okay, and then if I do that, then I still got to move her. I want her in front. So I can select that and then go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, and that'll still bring her to the front of that layer. So now when I hide all them, they all go away. I can hide all my articles and I still have my artwork in the background. So now we're all set, and that is the conclusion of this domain here, and we're going to go ahead and save this. And we actually say to save it as domain 3, first and last, dash layout graphics, dash your instructor name. So we're going to say DM3 first. Bishop, layout graphics, and my instructor was Patty Bishop. I could spell my own name right. We can go ahead and save that right into our same folder there, and we're going to do it right into the D3 newsletter assets folder. The students will then upload that, just again, that InDesign file into D2L. Again, we haven't gone over packaging yet, so they're not doing that yet. And then you'll relink those when you go to grade them. This concludes D3, domain 3 for the VSC developed assignments for the instructors video.